Liz, good afternoon to you.
Hello, Ian.
Nice to have you with us.
We just go from one nightmare to the next.
Well, I was about to say, it's like somebody woke up in the, some department somewhere and went, oh, hang on, we haven't given the farmers a pasting today, so we've done the inheritance tax thing, we've done the land grab thing. I know what we'll do. We'll do subsidies next. Is there a merry-go-round going on here?
Yeah, I think so. Like, they've kneecapped us, and then they gave us a few belts, and now they're sort of coming for the final blows, it feels like. So, yes, it's really not good. And I'm really worried about farmers' mental health as well, because this onslaught of assaults is very, very worrying.
Indeed. Just explain then.
These people's livelihoods, their way of life. They don't know anything any different. And it's like being ransacked. It's like someone arriving at your house.
Yeah.
And basically pinning you up against the wall and robbing you, and then holding a shotgun to your head. Yes, it's...
Well, yes, somebody saying, that £200 a month council tax you pay, we've just changed it to £3,500, oh, and by the way, you're going to get no gas supply for the next year. It's those kind of massive disruptive, these are huge seismic disruptions in your industry.
They are.
Can you explain what a subsidy is and does, in what kind of form it takes, and who gets it, if you could, Liz?
Yeah, look, there's lots of different subsidies across all sectors, but after the last war, where we nearly starved, they decided the only way that in this part of the world we can compete globally is by subsidising food, because the weather is against us. We're in the Northern Hemisphere. We're particularly in a hard position in Britain. I mean, I don't have to tell your viewers this. We know what our weather is like. And so farming in this country is harder than farming in other countries across the world, because we have a very difficult climate. And that is why we subsidise, or we have subsidised, food production. It's not to keep us in a luxury lifestyle. It's to ensure there's enough food for the country. In the last war, we actually ran out of food almost, and we in fact the government gave directions for families to kill their pets because there wasn't enough food, and we're almost doing the same again. We're running down self-sufficiency to such a low percentage that if there is an escalation of war, which is looking likely, quite frankly, we're going to be exposed. And this government are putting all of us who live on this island at risk because of aggressive ideology. And I would ask people to really sit up, write to your MPs. If you have got a Labour MP, please make sure they understand history, because a lot of these younger MPs in particular don't remember, or their families haven't ensured they remember, why we need food production in Britain is really important. And demoralising our food factories, which is what farms are, is really an attack on everyone who eats, including their pets, including our waste. So it's really dangerous what they're doing, and frightening. So I hope that they do reconsider. I plead with them to reconsider. But at the moment, we feel as if they're cloth-eared, not paying attention to us, and just seem to be in a hurry to deliver an aggressive American trade deal, maybe. I don't know what it is. But
well, that could be the next thing, couldn't it? There's another potential spanner to throw in the works, where a trade deal could have huge implications for farmers. What is it about this industry, this one industry that was almost, it's almost kind of quintessentially British farming? I know it's global, but you take my point. It's it's been there forever. My grandfather was a farmer. I get all of that, and it's so crucial to food security in this country. Why do politicians appear to take at best a very casual view, and at worst a worrying dismissive view?
I think it's a London-centric, out of touch with, and the food system has been so efficient, and we did rely on the French farmers to kick off, actually, which we haven't done here until recently. And so I think they're just totally out of touch with how food arrives in the supermarket, that most of it comes from our farms, and it has for some considerable time. And they also haven't dealt with the reality that with Brexit, we no longer have the food bank that we did have when we were in the EU. I would be more relaxed about destroying British farming if we still had that assurance of the food bank from Europe. But we don't. Europe don't want to come over here anymore because of all of the red tape, which this government also promised to get rid of, but they're not getting rid of. They're actually cutting the funding for the border inspections, which is meaning more illegal imports are flooding in here, putting people at risk of disease and death, food poisoning, and also a biosecurity risk for us farmers as well, and for individuals, because as we know, these diseases can jump to humans as well, so it's putting us at risk of another pandemic. So there is no sensible joined-up thinking, and I hope that the grown-ups can suddenly appear and take back control, because, you know, it is a very worrying situation. Yeah. And I know it looks like it's only about farming, but every person in this country is connected to farming because you eat.
Spot on. I mean, the knock-on effects, the ramifications are absolutely huge. You know, if farmers, if the farming industry sneezes, then the amount of areas that catch a cold are absolutely vast. Listen, we'll keep our eye on this, Liz, and thank you for being with us this afternoon.